It's a beautiful Monday afternoon. How y'all doing? This is Jimmy, your native Flor-xan. And so today I got home, checked my crab traps, and I got plenty of crabs here. I'm gonna show them to you. So I figured we would get them in a pot and get them cooked up for you. There, looky there. Some good looking crabs. Some of them got that rust starting to show up on their bellies there. So anyways, we're gonna get them on some ice and get them chilling, get the water boiling, and I'll show you what we're gonna do there. So we got them crabs on ice and getting the water started here. And what I got here is one of these swamp buckets here. I'm sure you've probably seen them on Facebook and this and that, but I got this one about 3 years ago before they got real expensive. And I really like it. I like the drain holes in it. It's got the vent here, and then you drain this, so when you get done boiling, you just dump that dude out and then dump whatever's in it into whatever dish or tray or whatever you're using. So we're gonna let this water get hot, and then we're gonna go through what I like to put in crab boil, and then we'll go from there. But I did want to mention, you know, in Florida we typically would steam crabs. We take and pop the tops off of them, clean all the guts out, take the gills off, the faces off, and then we put them in a steam pot and do them like that. And I've been doing them like that for years until went over to a friend of mine's house. He's from Louisiana, and he was boiling them, and kind of liked it. So I've tried it. I've kind of been working with it, doing them here in this bucket, and kind of perfected my own method here. So I'm just going to share that with you, and we'll see how it turns out. So, all right folks, so real quick I'm going to show you what I like to put into the bowl. So what I got here is some lime, some lemon. This is your Louisiana crab boil, or whatever kind of crab boil you like to use, seasoning. And then in this jar I've got some liquid crab boil. I probably won't use all that, but I generally buy that in the gallon, and then I just dump in this little container here however much I feel I need. And then in this bowl here I got some freshly chopped, spoon from the garlic. We're going to toss off in there, but I think the most important ingredient is this right here, is vinegar. You like to put, whenever you're boiling or steaming or whatever, your crabs or any kind of shellfish, I've learned, put some garlic in there, or put some vinegar in there, and to me it helps them peel a lot easier. And so I'll show you how much of that I put in there for this bucket here, but so far it's turned out good. So we're still trying to heat up, so I'll get back to you when the water starts boiling. Alright, so our water's heating up, and so just want to show you that real quick. And then what I'm going to do is I got 2 limes that I sliced up, and then 2 lemons, and I'm going to go ahead and put them in there and let them start making that water a little happy. And then we'll let that go. Once it gets to a little more percolating stage, then we'll start putting our other ingredients in there, so stay tuned. And so we're still waiting on our water to heat up. We got our lemons, got our limes in there, but you know, you don't have to have one of these buckets. If you got a pot, preferably one with one of them baskets, seafood baskets in it, to me that's works best. I also do them in that from time to time. If not, hopefully you got some long tongs to reach in your pot. But I like the basket, or I like doing it with the bucket, because of the way I do it. And so when we get towards the end of the video, I'll show you why that is. So we're going to keep on going, hopefully get it boiling and get to cooking them pretty soon. Alright folks, so we got our lemons and limes going, starting to get a little bit of a boil to it. So I'm going to go ahead and add that garlic to it. And again, this is just regular old garlic. It's probably 2 or 3 tablespoons. We'll get that going in there and get it rolling around and start getting that flavor building. So we're gonna keep going on this. I'll be back with you. All right, hopefully you can see that we're starting to get us a little bit of rolling boil there. So what we're going to do is go ahead and put some of that liquid crab oil in there. I don't know, probably 5 or 6 tablespoons. And then I'm going to put some regular crab oil seasoning. A lot of people say, well, you put all that in there, it just goes to waste. Yeah, well, I like it in there, so hush. And then last but not least, I don't know if I can do this with one hand. But we're going to pour probably about that much vinegar in there. And some of y'all might say, well, dadgum, man, that's a lot of vinegar, but you won't even taste it by the time it gets done. So we're gonna let that come back up, get a good rolling boil, and then we're gonna start chunking some crabs in there. So stay tuned. All right, folks, the time has come. We got water boiling. So what we're going to do is take these crabs out of the ice. I'm not going to bore you with all that, but that's 4 of them. I'll get the rest of them in there. And then we're going to boil them for 17 minutes. Once I get the last one in there, I'll set the timer. That allows time for the water to come up to a boil, and we want to boil them for about 15 minutes. And then what I'm going to do is throw a 10-pound bag of ice in this bucket to bring the temperature down, and then we're going to let them sit and soak. So I'll show you all that here shortly. Alrighty, so it's 12 crabs. We'll sit here and we'll put that timer on for 17 minutes and let them get to boiling. Alright, so we got them going here, and it wound up being 12 crabs total. And so I know people might question the time that I'm going. It's too long or too short. But what I'm doing is I'm allowing time for that water to get back up to a good boil. And so we're right at 4 minutes right now. And just now starting to get a little bit of boil back in it. So we'll keep letting it go. Like I said, I've been doing this for a while, and 17 minutes from the time I put them all in there to the time I hit them with the ice is what normally works for me. So the true test will be when we go to peel them, so we'll see how it turns out. You know, that figures. I get out here making a video, and the neighbor that never comes outside, I'm sure y'all can hear that chainsaw running over there. Never fails. Alright folks, so that time has come. See, we got a good boil going. Gonna unplug that dude. Take our lid off, it's hot. I like to kind of press them down a little bit and then dump that ice on. Did my water right, should fit that whole bag of ice in there. Well, look at that. So we're going to go ahead and screw that lid down on there. That is one good thing about these buckets. I do like these Domo screw lids. So we're going to let that dude sit for, I don't know, probably 5-6 minutes or so. And then I'm going to go ahead and dump that water out. And then the next time you see me, we'll be inside where it's a little bit quieter and see how these things peel. So not much longer, just hang in there with me. Alright folks, so we're inside. You know, I came inside where it was quieter, and as soon as I go to video, the AC kicks on. So I shut it off, but I haven't touched any of these. I hadn't tried peeling one of these. I figured I'd do that here real time so y'all can more believe what I'm telling you here. So we'll get this big one here now. We're just going to pop the top off of it. And as you noticed, I got my wife's fine china trays to do this on. Take and pop that top. Pull them gills off. And most of the time, that stuff on the inside gets cooked and you can just flip it right out, just like that. You might have a little bit of that mustard in there if you don't like it. You rinse it out, I suppose. It doesn't really bother me. And then break the mouth off. I like to take the apron off, pop them in half, and then take and break each individual section open. This dude here was pretty tough. Peel back some of that shell. Man, it's a tough shell. Of course, I went for the honey pot there. Much shell, but that's all right. If you're eating crab, you gotta expect that. That's good, that's good. And one thing I like to show you, this is how I judge whether or not I've done good or not. Take that leg piece right there, and on the inside, push it. If you can push all that meat up out of there, I say you've done a good job. Well, I'm not gonna sit here and chow down with y'all watching, because my luck ain't none of y'all had supper yet. But look, I did this video. I come home from work and I had a bunch of crabs in there, wound up with a dozen. We're either going to eat them tonight or we're going to clean them out, save the meat and use it in something else. But I just figured I'd show y'all how I cook them. That bucket works great. Now, I'm not affiliated with them. If you're more interested and want to see how that bucket works, you can go to their website, that's Swamp Buckets, and take a look at that. Now, me not being affiliated, I just wanted to show y'all how I use that thing, because I'm not going to show you something that I don't like using or I don't believe in, okay? But it is a good product. And they work real good. So, alright folks, so I'd actually already filmed my outro, and then I got to thinking, you know, I'm sitting here, I'm picking through all this crab, and I'm thinking about all the things that I didn't tell you. And so, here in the state of Texas, legal crab has to be 5 inches from point to point, okay? And I believe all of these are males, but it used to be, I thought, you couldn't have but so many females, but now I just reread the deal just to make sure. But now it just says you can only have 5% of undersized crabs that you can keep for bait purposes, but you got to keep them in a separate container. Now, there is no bag limit, there is no possession limit, but you cannot have an egg-bearing female, or you cannot have a female where the apron's been removed. So that's that. And then something else I was thinking about, for those that may not know, now this is the Toadfish crab crackers, and they're really good. Now, I'm not affiliated with them neither, but again, if I like a product, I'll tell you about it. And these work real good for getting down to the claw meat. I'm just gonna crack these apart. And so the way I like to do it is take and crack it a little bit there, and then right at the joint. Take and Pull that shell right off of there. It's being a little stubborn. You should be able to grab that if you pop it at that joint right. And pull that right off of there. Now you got your little crab lollipop here. Now what some people do is bread that up and fry it and make crab fingers out of it. I'm gonna eat it. Come right off. It means they're cooked good. And so far I've only done 5 crab, and that's how much meat I've gotten out of them 5 crabs so far. And I hadn't even done the legs off of them. That's just body meat. So these are some good crabs. Again, I appreciate y'all for watching. And if you enjoy these videos, if you would hit that subscribe button. If you would ring that bell if you want to get alerts of whenever I post something else. And then most and more importantly, hit that like button. I sure do appreciate you. And we'll see you on the next one. Say hello to your mama and them.